Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday number 49. The topic today is be decisive no matter what you do. Question. I deal with anxiety and I find it hard to make decisions. I fear I will make the wrong decision and suffer from my bad choices. How can I know what the right decision is? I have suffered from bad choices in the past, and I want to avoid the same mistake. Okay. If you want to live in peace, you need to make a connection with the part of you that is permanent. You need to feel the steadiness, the sense of unchanging permanent me before you make a decision. When you feel anchored by the permanent me, you will have the power to make a decision because you will not have any fear chasing you. In order to do this, you need to take the time to sit with silence. And this is the hardest thing for an anxious person because an anxious person is always thinking. So you need to silence the mind, which just simply means concentrating on the silence or the gap between your thoughts. And you need more of that. So if you're an anxious person trying to make decisions, you need to stop acting and get into a state of silence and loving your silence. Most people run away from silence. They're afraid of it. And if you're afraid of silence, that's the biggest problem that you have. You need to actually make friends with your silence. Now, if you're trying to get to a place where you make the right decision so that life will be smooth and that you won't have any problems, you're coming from it from the wrong perspective. Because the right perspective is that life gives you lots of experiences so that you learn your lessons. It's not about having a comfortable, easy ride in life. You make decisions so that you can learn something. You say, okay, I'll decide to do it this way, and I'm going to stay open to whatever the results are. I'm going to handle the consequences. I'm going to learn my lessons, and then I'm going to make a new decision. So, in other words, if you're coming from a victim mentality, which means that you think that once you make a decision, then the action is set in the track, and now it's gone out there into the universe. And at that point, you've lost all your power because you gave it away to the universe, and the universal powers are bigger than you. And you think now you're going to be at the mercy of those big powers. Then this is where your thinking has gone wrong. The point here is that you are always the one who makes choices. You make choices every single moment of the day. You're in the power seat. There's nothing more powerful than you are. So when you make a decision and you decide to act on it, and then you act on it, and you do an action, and then from that, you're going to experience a result of that action. Even the result of that action is your doing. It's your creation. How you experience it is also your creation, because you're the one who makes the assumption that this is what's happening. You make the conclusion. You're making the thoughts around the results of those actions. All of it is your creation. So in order to feel confident in making a decision in life, you need to feel confident in yourself. It's not about what the right decision is, because there's no right decision. The only right thing there is you. You're the power horse. You're the one who makes things happen. So if you think you're not ready to meditate and experience your silence and make friends with your silence and start to feel connected with the silence and trust the silence, that permanent part of yourself, if you feel like you're not ready for that because maybe your mind is too active, you got too many traumas, you got too many fears and too many worries, then you have no other way to work with this except for you to live out your life karma a little bit more, which means maybe you need to suffer a little bit more. Maybe you need to experience making more bad mistakes. If you're not ready to take on what it takes to own your life and be completely responsible for every little action, and you're still reacting to the external world, it just simply means you're not ready to do it. So you just need a few more so-called life experiences, maybe some unpleasant experiences, to get the point that you have to do something about this. So if you're not ready, then life will give you those lessons. If you are ready, there is something you need to understand. There are two levels of reality. There is the reality of your ego, the one where you give your power over to the ego and the ego promises to take care of you. And it tells you all kinds of lies, like it's the one, if you're in a state of anxiety, it's the one that's telling you that there's something to worry about. And it convinces you thoroughly that you are paralyzed and that you have no power. And you got to keep listening to what the ego says. So it keeps you in this kind of stuck state. That's one reality. And that's a reality that a lot of people live. Whatever their thoughts are, they believe it. There's another reality, and that reality is called the permanent me reality. The permanent me reality is the state of silence, where you have a direct experience and you know, just even once or twice, that you've touched it. You know that there is a place inside of you that is permanent. It's the one that never dies and was never born, but is always present. And it's the part of you that never changes. No matter what efforts you make from the ego perspective, you never change. That's the one you have to trust. That's the one you need to have a direct experience of, so that when you are in touch with that part, whatever decision you make, you totally know that you have all the power to handle whatever life presents you, because you're the creator of your world. You're the creator of your thinking. You're the creator. So you have the power. So, in other words, be decisive no matter what you do. The power is with you. The power is not outside of you. You have the power to make your life work for you. And what does that mean? You have decided to learn the lessons through making your decisions and taking action on that. It's not about having a nice, cozy life and running away and being protected. No, you are a warrior. You go out there and take action and receive the results of those actions and learn from them and then take more action. Never stop taking action unless you feel you are not ready to take full responsibility. If that's the case, then I suggest you meditate. Meditate, meditate, meditate until you're in touch with that permanent me. And when that happens, then you'll have that full trust. And if you can't do that, then go ahead and act out your anxiety. Continue to act out your anxiety and your fears and your worries until something blows up. And then you realize, oh my God, I've had the power, I have the power. It's all me that's doing it all. Okay, that's it for today's Wisdom Wednesday, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.